Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you are watching this live stream from. My name is Michael Firth, one of the founding field advisory board members with a company called Numi. Now, if you don't know what Numi is, that's totally okay. By the end of this presentation, you will. Today, we have a belief that you get the head with a fact and the heart with a story. So we're here to talk about one of the fastest growing companies on the planet in terms of glutathione and HydraStat nano-delivery. With that in mind, for those people who may not know absolutely anything, we're going to play a very quick video, and then straight after that, we're going to come back with some fantastic stories. So in the meantime, do us a favor. We're in 67 countries around the world. Type in where you're watching us from into the chat as we get everything underway.
Was the best delivery method for music? Remember when this was the best delivery method for supplements? Every industry evolves and improves with new breakthroughs in science and technology. Here at Numi, we've used a proprietary technology to solve an issue that's been around since nutritional supplementation began: the problem of absorption. So many of today's supplements are less effective due to their inability to be absorbed naturally by the body. Using our own proprietary HydraStat nano-delivery breakthrough, we reduce the particle size of critical nutrients smaller than ever before, allowing them to absorb in your mouth while swishing for 30 seconds or more. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's responsible for boosting your energy, detoxifying cells, reducing inflammation, and boosting the immune system. If glutathione is so amazing, why have you never heard of it? Because glutathione is extremely fragile, and if taken orally, it will be destroyed via the digestive process, rendering it virtually useless to the body. Until now, NutraSwish applies nanotechnology to achieve maximum absorption. Now, glutathione and other nutrients can be absorbed simply and quickly by swishing in the mouth instead of being destroyed in the stomach. Using this same nanotechnology, we've created the ultimate skincare product, Numi Skin. We've been able to achieve unparalleled absorption for key ingredients, including collagen, hyaluronic acid, and more. Some of the top skin experts in the world work together to create the ultimate blend of skin-enhancing nanonutrients, creating the most amazing before and after results. With our nano solution, you no longer have to wait months to experience the effects of skincare and supplementation. Our customers are noticing a difference within a matter of days. Don't wait to look, feel, and live your best life. A new you starts with Numi.
All right, beautiful. So that gives you a great understanding on the scientific breakthrough. I might add that Numi has been around as a company now for about just under 3 years. We're in 67 countries. We've got 150,000 plus members. In fact, that stat's about 6 weeks old, so it's probably a lot more than that right now. And what I love is when you're going to hear about one ingredient, which is glutathione, you heard about just then. You also heard about HydraStat nano-delivery, where we shrink the particle size down smaller than anybody else has been able to do before. In a technology, it means we get instant delivery. Now, with that in mind, ask the person who invited you to check out the Medical Advisory Board. I've been in the glutathione research space now for about 16 years, and I can tell you our entire Medical Advisory Board of doctors and scientists have been involved in this space as well. And they've used intravenous glutathione, precursors to glutathione, liposomal glutathione, patches, you name it, and nothing has produced the same results as we're seeing with this amazing breakthrough called HydraStat. Now, we started in the glutathione space and now leading the charge worldwide with growth in that area, but we've also now moved into other areas as well. So just quickly, before I bring on these lovely ladies for their interviews, we have NutraSwish, where you can take a cap off, a couple of capfuls in your mouth, hold it for 30 seconds, swish it like a mouthwash, and boom, you have instant absorption in 30 seconds flat in the bloodstream. We also have a product where you spray externally and you get glutathione, hyaluronic acid, lots of other things that absorb to the last layer of the skin because the particle size, again, accessing where most products do not. Then we took the same concept and we had for women's health a double-blind placebo-controlled test for a product that helps ladies eliminate hot flashes, menstrual cramps, mood swings, libido, you name it, and spectacular results. And we'll continue to make more and more products that are more economical, more effective because of our technology. So we can undercut everyone's prices, but we also make our products way more effective than the other options in the market. Now, when we did this call last, we actually said to type in the chat if somebody wanted to win a free bottle of product. Just type in "pick me, please." So I encourage you during this interview series to do that today. Having said that, I want to just quote the lady who has won. I'm not sure what part of the world she's in. It might be Indonesia, I think. We've had random winners all over the world. Vencia Horace. Vencia Horace, if you reach out to me, you have won a free bottle of our product, and we'll get that to you as quick as we can. Today, if you're watching, type in where you're watching us from, but also type in "pick me, please," if you'd like to be one of those people that maybe win the one in the upcoming week. And having said that, always get back to the person who invited you to this video for more information. Today, we are live streaming to multiple platforms: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, etc. And some of the people that are being interviewed today, we're live streaming onto their walls. So reach out and type in "pick me, please" on their walls as well. And potentially you'll be one of the lucky winners in the next week. Now, with that in mind, we're going to go right around the world here. Here I am with an Aussie twang in my accent today. Well, guess what? People logged in from all over the place. I can see them in the chat. I'll share them in a minute. But we also have people logged in all over the world. So first up, I'd like to introduce you to Tracy Walker. Now, Tracy is from France. She's a Canadian living in France. She's 55 years of age, but she's also been involved in the home-based business industry now for 11 years. So welcome, Tracy.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Now, it's 1 in the morning over there, so you look amazingly fresh considering you've stayed up so late.
Yeah, so, it's a little late.
So I just wanted to say, Tracy's only been involved using Numi products now for about 3 weeks. But in that 3-week period, what sort of things have you noticed?
Well, with the swish, it was immediately like off the charts energy. I just, within the first few hours of my first swish, I just had an abundance of energy, and, taking the dog for a walk now, it's like he runs out of energy before I do. I just want to keep going and going. And actually, I just have so much energy and just feel so good that I want to just keep feeling better. So I'm actually like gone back to the gym now because I just want to keep feeling so good.
Isn't it fantastic? Now, for me, I can say at 55, similar age, that I'm the same. I'm suddenly punching at the personal bests better than I have in my entire life at 50 years of age, thanks to these products. So that's a great testimonial. Now, you also mentioned something about body shape change. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it was about 2.5 weeks into swishing, and I'm using both the hers and the Nutri-Swish. And I was walking the dog, and I was noticing, I feel a little firmer. Like I don't feel things moving around like I normally would, and I actually, can feel where my hips are, and feel those curves again, and sort of that whole menopausal middle. Because I'm post-menopause now. So it's just, everything just feels a lot firmer and tighter, and I feel like I have my body back.
Isn't that awesome? Now, just for the ladies and gents watching this, and by the way, men can take the product too, but specifically meant for women's health. Tracy's very creative because this product's only available in the USA, Canada, and Mexico at this point, this particular one. Having said that, she had placed an order, had it shipped to a friend in the USA, I think, and then had it shipped on. So well done for doing that. Now, you mentioned some benefits thanks to hers. What were they specifically?
I would say definitely like more clarity, not that brain fog that can really come with menopause. Again, back to that whole menopausal middle and being able to like feel my abs again, see my abs again. So whether that be part of the detox or part of, hormonal balancing. And I think just happier in general and just in a better mood. And it just, I don't know how else to explain it other than like, I feel like I have my body back. Like my body belongs to me again.
That is awesome. Now, this question is going to be interesting because of all people I could ask this question to, you've been using a great skincare in the home-based business industry now for over 6 years, right? You were quite high ranking in your previous company. So what did you notice then? If you've already been using great skincare and then you started using a Numi skin on top of that, or instead of that, I don't know. Tell us what you've noticed.
You know what? I wasn't expecting much for that reason. Like I've been using great skincare. So I thought, okay, maybe a little bit more hydrated with the hyaluronic acid. But within the first, I would say week and a half, I was just like, wow, my skin is brighter, absolutely more hydrated. And I have always had these deep lines on my neck, like since I was 20. And I'm noticing now that those wrinkles, those deep lines are becoming less and less. And my jaws are definitely a lot tighter too. So I am just blown away by the results of the spray. Absolutely.
Wow. Well, thank you for your testimonial. I know you've stayed up for the benefit of all of us here till 1 a.m. in the morning
That's
over in
dedication, that's
France.
passion.
Yeah, totally. So thank you for sharing. You can definitely go back to bed. Now, guys, while we're doing this, let me also say, I said type in the chat where you're watching this from. We've got people here I can see from Trinidad and Tobago. We have New Zealand. We've got Utah, we've got Ontario, we've got people from the Philippines, we have Indonesia. You can see lots and lots of people typing in. And hey, again, a lot of people typing in pick me, please. Feel free to do that, which would be also probably perfect because you might be the winner for next week. Now, we're going to a different part of the world, which is New Zealand. So now I'd like to interview Maria Fahim. Maria is based in New Zealand. She's 40 years of age. She's a community connector for a regional sports trust. So welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for volunteering or being volunteered, not sure. Now, before we get into the details of your experience, Maria, what exactly is a community connector for regional sports trust?
Ooh, now that role, it's an absolute privilege actually to be able to support schools, kura and communities around ensuring quality sport and physical activity for tamariki or for the young children, but also I guess it allows me to build strong, meaningful relationships with communities as well, and especially I guess looking first and foremost for the health and well-being of our young children here in New Zealand. So yeah, very, very, very grateful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. Now, interesting, that's a great role for you considering your other role. So for those that don't know, Maria's actually been at a very high level in sports with the New Zealand White Ferns in cricket. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, that was yeah, quite a, I guess, a special time of my life, being able to represent my country. Also with that came getting a virus where I got heavily fatigued and was unable to continue in that role as a player. So for the last 14 years, I literally have been trying to make a comeback, trying a large number of things that, you know, to try to get my vitality back. And yeah, I guess a year ago, I was very, very lucky to come across Numi, product of Swish, and that's got me back into the physical activity again. So I'm very, very happy.
I can only imagine how crushing it would be for someone in sports to then be knocked off their feet like that with a condition. And I might want to say, guys, that our products aren't designed to treat, cure, prevent any disease. All we do, when we're talking about this product, we take glutathione, a proven ingredient with 180,000 peer-reviewed studies, and we make it more accessible, nano-sized to access where other products cannot, and that makes it more effective and also way, way, way more economical as well. Same again with the HERS product. Already proven ingredients, we're just giving them more accessibility to the body and bioavailability and cell utilization. Having said that, explain to me what was one of the first things you noticed when you used the product?
Oh, I think firstly it was how quickly I noticed a change. So within a week, I guess the major one initially was I'd really struggled kind of with cognitive focus, and it just gave me huge amount of, I guess, mental clarity, which I hadn't had for a long time. I guess, the alertness, way calmer, which was awesome. And sleep had always been a challenge as well. So I was able to sleep a lot better, which was massive for me. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Now, sleep is very important, of course, for general well-being and health. So and I hear a lot of people say, that their health, their sleep patterns are improved and what have you. Having said that, the Numi skin product, we talked about that with Tracy, and Tracy's been in skincare, with a great product and get better results with one product versus many in a regime. Now, from your perspective, you're in New Zealand, which I'm told Australia and New Zealand have the biggest hole in the ozone layer, and that's why we have the highest rates of skin cancers and so forth, not just because we spend our lives on the beach. So since using the skin product, what have you noticed?
I think for me, especially the old cricketer's tan of face and the V-neck, I noticed like a tightening of the skin, especially the fine lines, which are starting to develop as I kick on a bit in life. I think for me, I'm not a big 10-step routine lady. I just want something that I can just quickly spray on and it works. And for me, that's what I found is being able to spray and literally walk on with my days has been awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm the same. I just walk past the bathroom and that's it. We're done. That was hard. So any last thoughts?
I think I've got to the point now I can't leave the house without having Swish on me in my day. It's just it's so helpful. It's there on hand, and I can't get by without it, to be honest. That's my last thought is it goes everywhere with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Maria. Now we've gone from Tracy in France, we've gone over to New Zealand. Now we're going to go to a whole other part of the world, and so we're going to interview Donna Gay. Donna's actually from Southern California. She's 62 years of age, so welcome, Donna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Donna, in your case, I understand you came across Numi in the most divinely orchestrated fashion. Tell us about that.
Yes, I believe so. It's been about 2 months now, and I was in my kitchen cooking dinner, listening to Jack Hibbs' podcast, and it came to a close. And so I was praying with the Lord, just asking him to give me wisdom and discernment. And another podcast came on with a gentleman that I hadn't been familiar with. And he was very excited about his guest speaker. So he was telling a little bit about him, that he knew the Proverbs better than anybody else. And I thought, oh, a man of integrity. That's awesome. And then he said he had a product that changed his life. So I thought, I'm going to listen to this. So I went ahead and listened to it, and I really loved what they had to say. So I thought to myself, I'm going to do my own research, figure a little bit more about this. So I went on, and it was Stephen K. Scott that was the main speaker. The guest speaker. And so when I looked him up, I realized he was an author of many books. So I ordered about 3 of his books, ordered some product after I did my research on that. And so I really have to try this. And, I feel like it was that God just put it in my lap, kind of a gift from God.
Totally. Well, let me say I've worked with Steve Scott now for about 16 years. He's my good buddy and business partner in Numi. Helped him find the investors for this breakthrough. And for those that don't know, Steve Scott, if you think that name rings a bell, he was behind the Total Gym with $4 billion in sales and many infomercial successes. In fact, he was one of the most influential people in direct response television. And he says, and I quote, having been involved in glutathione now for about 15, 16 years, this is the biggest breakthrough he's ever discovered in his life. So everything else was awesome, but they're all now paled into insignificance, but compared to the results we're seeing. Now, nothing happens by accident, so I'm sure you're here for a reason. And it's great to have you on the team. Now, I understand you're using both products, and let's start with the first one being the Numi skin. What have you noticed with that?
Oh, gosh. So the first time using it, I felt tingling on the face a little bit and a little tightening, and I really liked the feel of all that. I ran to a neighbor to drop something off, and while I was there, she said, "Your skin looks great." And this was only like a week after I started, and I had no makeup on. I was really like, oh my gosh. And so after that, I went to go visit my daughter, and she said, "Mom, it looks like you got Botox on your forehead." And I'm like, I've never done anything like that, never. And so a week went by as I was visiting with her, and she said, "I'm noticing your chest is smoother, your neck is smoother. And, these are areas at 62, you're just very self-conscious of." And so I thought, oh, this is really good. And then the last was my lips. You put on lipstick, and the last thing you want is for it to go up these little crevices. And those now are not as deep. So I'm just thrilled having results in such a quick quick time frame.
Isn't it interesting? Again, I said proven ingredients. You can get hyaluronic acid and collagen and glutathione elsewhere. But a friend of mine's a skincare educator, educating beauty therapists across the world on different products and services. And she said, Michael, you probably don't know this, but 0.03% of any ingredient makes it to the last layer of the skin because the molecule's too big. A bit like trying to drive a bus through a keyhole. It's not possible. But when you nano-size the same ingredients and they get to where they're going, in your case, that's why you see these spectacular results. Now, I understand that you are also using the Swish product as well. What have you noticed with that?
Boy, that's great. I actually, it's kind of a funny story. About 4 years ago, my cardiologist took me off of caffeine and just said, no more. So when I do drink coffee, it's always decaf. Okay. So I'm visiting my daughter because she's got to pack her house up. She was moving out of state. And we had a big day ahead of us. So we decided to start with a cup of coffee. And we drank our coffee and then we got packing. And about mid-morning, little afternoon, she looked at me and she goes, Mom, you have so much energy. Are you sure you didn't like switch the pod, the K-cups? And I'm like, no, I took decaf, you know. But it made me realize how much energy that Swish has given me. And I also realized when I work out, I love to work out. And so when I worked out, I felt my endurance was stronger. And then the after effect, the very next day, I didn't have the soreness. So those are the things I noticed mostly.
Yeah, well, now I don't want to say it twice because ladies don't like this, but I have to. You're 62, right? But you are also on baby alert recently. Tell us about that.
Yes, I have a granddaughter that was very sick. She was 9 months. She is 9 months old, and she got sick with a high fever. And my daughter's very diligent, so she went in throughout the night just making sure her temperature wasn't too high. And so she did that for a few nights and just got extremely exhausted. So I told her, let me have the monitor. I'd be happy to take care of her. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning that I went in to take care of my little Roy. And I realized the clarity I had in the middle of the night, you know. And so my daughter had asked me, we kind of connected again, how's it going? And I said, great. And so the next morning we were talking about the clarity and she said, no, Mom, I've noticed this in you. It's not just you're just able to stay on task and get things done. And I thought, you know, you're right. So it's been awesome to have that brain fog kind of go and more clarity.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing as well. So we've been around the world with into 3 different locations, and just coincidence, I might add, guys, that we had 3 ladies. Often it's men, women, all sorts of people. And, you know, having Maria from a sports perspective, I can share one quick story. I talked about the evolution of the glutathione supplementation world. I've been involved for 16 years. I said precursors, great technology in their day, old technologies now. Liposomals, great technology in its day, old technology now. Patches, same thing. All of those things, great products. I might add all double to triple the price of what this product is. So way, 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 way more effective and way more economical. With that in mind, I want to just remind you that if you want to type in "pick me please" into the chat. Now, if you're watching this on Maria's wall, on Tracy's wall, on Donna's wall, type in "pick me please." They'll still be one of the random winners chosen for next week. Or wherever you're watching this, just type in "pick me please" anytime in the replay and we'll pick a lucky winner. Again, Vencia Horace, reach out to me. You were the lucky winner of the last one we just did. So with that in mind, thank you, ladies, for a brilliant interview today. We'll have more interviews coming up in the coming weeks. And again, in the chat, type in "pick me please" if you want to be one of our lucky winners. Please always get back to the person who brought you to this interview for more information. Thanks for sharing. I'll see you soon.